Public announcement. This is the 10 attributes of original gangster part 2. We got some great feedback on part 1, but part 2 is even better. So let's get into it. Being a
Yes.
OG is not an easy thing. It's a lifestyle and it's something that you groomed in. We will get into that. Some people born in it, some people just want to be in it. But a lot of times, the who does it profit? Do it profit the gang or do it profit the community? Well, in this segment, we're going to use a lot of community because they, and y'all know who they are,
Yes, they do.
called us a gang. And we was just a community trying to survive. It
Yep.
was hard times. Remember them old black exploitation movies? They groomed us.
Yep.
Remember Claudine? They groomed us. So, oh, I can't forget one of my greatest movies that 99% of y'all have never heard of. It's called The Education of Sonny Carson.
Oh.
That
Yeah, I never heard
movie,
of that one.
no, that's a old classic about New York gangs.
Uh huh.
Sadly to say, it became my reality. So be careful when you young or you let your young kids get influenced by media. And it could be audio, visual,
Uh huh.
or it could be in print. So just be careful because a lot of our slang, you probably don't know, we didn't even invent it. It was an old jazz. Remember the hipsters back in the 30s and the 40s? They came up with an old book. Press like and subscribe, and I'll give you more information on that. That's how I'll get paid. Like and subscribe and share. Because you're not paying me enough right now to go deep in the details.
Yeah.
But it's in jazz history. Wonderful history about jazz. And black Americans are the originators, and they've been around the world. There's no one else or no other music has been more influenced than jazz have. And in that history, there's a book that they wrote about hip. I'm going to give you just a little bit, square. That comes from that book. So a lot of our slang today that have been passed on from generations to generations, and I'm talking to these youngsters that has that disconnect with the older population. Remember, who you are and what you are came from someone before you, and they left it to you. Now, how you use it is up to you. But Skittles, let's get into this.
All
Hit
right.
me
No,
with number 6.
all right. Survivor intelligence. Streets and environments can produce strong situation awareness. People learn to read body language, recognize danger, understand relationships, and quickly determine whom they can trust. Those survival skills might be vulnerable in dangerous environment, but harmful when someone begins treating every environment as dangerous.
Now, we have to be careful because that is true. In the streets, it's simple. I listen to a Raider radio, and I hear some of the broadcasts. Keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
See, all these terms we use, guess where they came from? Because the OGs always knew that. When we came outside, what the first thing you did, because see, we lived in our neighborhoods a lot of time. Not saying it's wrong for you who don't live in your neighborhood, because I think it's honorable to claim a neighborhood that you don't live in. That means that neighborhood is so strong and impressionable that it drew you in. And that's like a magnet. So something you doing is on point. Sometimes there's stuff we do that's not on point. But anyway, we use that to understand our surroundings, where we going, how to get there. Watch the people in the car. When you go to school, man, when you was in high school, junior high school, it was all about who developed you. See, if your OG was developing you right, you'll be right as an OG. But a lot of times you was running under a big homie that most of the time he was thinking about himself because he really didn't want you to know that he couldn't read. There's nothing wrong with people that can't read, but in the black community, there should be nobody that don't read because if you can't read, you have too many people out here is willing to help you. And the
Yeah.
number one is black women. Black women will always help you when you in need, if you a real brother. But if you're out there trying to manipulate the young homies and to believe in that BS that you trying to sell them, everyone gets away from you. And that's why a lot of our neighborhoods now or communities are not us. We have to live somewhere else and come back to the neighborhood. But that's a whole that'll take all
Yeah.
night to explain the economic struggle. But we're gonna get into a little bit of that because there's economic hustle.
Hustler. Yeah.
So what is number 7?
All right, self reliance. An OG might develop the attitude nobody is coming to save me. That can produce detrimental and independence. But extreme self reliance can also make people unwilling to trust students, counselors, employees, institutes, or even family members who genuinely want to help.
Now see that attribute right there
Yeah.
is good and bad. The good has overcome. I mean, the bad. I don't. Let me go back. Let me go back. The bad has overcome the good, and I'll tell you why. Self-reliance is not a bad thing. We use it a lot. It's called individualism, and
Yeah.
that's good. That's good that you go out. You have determination in yourself. Because when you're born to this world, you come to yourself. Excuse me. It's sort of like prison. When you go to prison, that's your number. But one thing about self-reliance, the good is when it becomes groupism.
Yeah.
When you rely on the massive. See, that's where we went wrong at. And then the educators and everyone else is trying to keep the community going, keep the resources going. You have more influence in the neighborhood because your squabbles up. You
Yeah.
probably a born killer. You running around the streets terrorizing. Okay, big homie, you rolling. You an OG. You did your thing when you was young. But did you let the kids that's not built for the streets go to college? Did you tell them, look, homie, these streets is not for everybody? See, and then we want to know why growing up, we do have OGs that are 48 hours. But now we got a different time where it's 48 minutes. Now they not even waiting 48 hours. They telling on you in 48 minutes. You don't even see the police on the street like they used to. Wonder why. Self-reliance. It's because you want to be in the gang, but when, hey, like Beretta used to say, now this is an OG time. Beretta used to say, don't do the time. If you can't do the crime, don't do it. Y'all remember that back in the old 70s, boy, that's all we had. Even though it still was, you know who was the police, and you know who was on them curbs filling the jails up and created 48 hours. Sad but true. Next one. Skittles. Hit us with number 9. No, we
No,
had 8.
yes, we are a economic hustlers, like you said earlier. Street organizations can develop informal economics. People learn sales, network, risk management, and how to identify opportunities. Those are real economic skills. The tragedy occurs when entrepreneurs' ability becomes attached to illegal markets rather than legitimate business and careers.
Now, this is the economic hustle. Everyone get out here and hustle. You know, it's just called economics. We use the word hustle because that's what they label it as,
Yeah.
hustlers. So everyone takes on the word hustle and, you know, gave it the name. So everyone uses. This one thing in our communities that we do is this. The original gangsters make it up, and then the non-gangsters or the affiliates or people just born in the neighborhood takes the lingo, uses it, and sometimes they really don't understand what it's for. But since a lot of times we look at the streets, because that didn't sit well with me, never did. That you come in the streets and say street credibility. You can have street credibility, but
Yeah.
we were in the streets doing what we did to get out of poverty, not come back. That's why I have a problem with a lot of rappers and celebrities. Why in the hell do you put all this work in your craft to be something and get out the neighborhood to say you come back in the neighborhood, but you don't buy the property in the neighborhood? You just want to come back and flaunt, and then when the heat hits you, and then the real bangers out there or whoever from that community hits you up and like, okay, you got to pay the cost to be the boss.
Right.
Now you want to run. Now you want to talk about we need change and all these problems, but why you didn't come back and buy all these properties that they call ghettos, low budgets, and projects? They come buy them up, raise the rent, knock them down, turn them into condos. There goes your neighborhood. We had a lot of black communities. They done put freeways through them. They done did a lot all over the United
Yeah.
States. It's because they feel you don't value your people. So they blame it on the OGs. That's all they gonna blame it on. They gonna blame it on people that use drugs, the OGs. Then they gonna tell the youngsters, your daddy's gone because he don't care. But they don't tell you that they locked your daddy up. And
Right.
sometimes that shit wasn't real. It was illegal. Now there's two kind of people we have. Illegal criminals and legal criminals. You have to learn that because in a economic hustle, they both are together. Sometimes you can go to prison for something, and then the same people over you is getting money through fraud. So what's the difference? Politicians, what do? Look, a lot of y'all might not know in Arcadia, the mayor, yeah, I think it was Arcadia, yes, it was an Asian lady. She was convicted of being a Chinese agent. Now, I know you youngsters don't know, but you original gangsters will know this. She was on some get smart shit. They was they was on some real mother. So if you think espionage, you read them books and shit, you be like, damn, is this shit real? This shit good as a motherfucker. in the city next to you. Those who don't know where Arcadia is in Southern California,
California, yeah.
by Los Angeles or Pasadena. And she was an agent. So just think how many more agents it is. I didn't say agents, I said agents running around our country, robbing us.
Yakuza.
See, so that's what I mean by legal criminals. There's a lot of politicians. What do they do for you? That's why I say right now it's a lot going on with Nolan Wells and the rest of the tragedies of young black men and
Yeah.
young black women have lost their lives. But the same people we putting in front of this camera, majority of them are what? When it's time to come, watch. When election time, the same people we want justice from. We not asking about nothing, but we tired of injustices. We want justice. But then they gonna come tell you to vote. And guess what? Who's your master? It's one thing about baseball that the Latin players used to say when they hit a home run and run across the bases, is all saying, who's your daddy? So, black folks, just remember, OGs, original gangsters, who's your daddy? Remember that. Next time you tell that youngster something that's finna send him to prison for 30 and you know he's not built for it. Now,
Yeah.
the ones that's built for it, the ones that you know this is their lifestyle and this is what they want, hey, man, we can't change that.
Right.
But what we can change is our culture and how people put us in that media and using us as doormats. Don't matter. You see, all your celebrities are getting taken down. I can't say all, but majority.
Yeah.
Majority. If they take Michael Jackson down, you don't have a chance. Number 9.
Ooh, number 9, protection. Some gangs originally developed partner around neighborhood tutorials or group protection. Protections can create powerful loyalty.
Now, read that to me one more time.
Some original, some original developed party around neighborhoods tutorial or group protection. Protections can create powerful loyalty.
That's
Like
what I
saying
want.
these people have my back.
Yes, that's what I want to hear right there. These people have my back. Protection. A lot of times, that's what we want in the community.
Yeah.
Protection. Because the name gangster came out of young men when their parents was at work, the community or the neighborhood pretty much raised them and looked out for them. When you walked to school, you walked in a pack. We all looked out. The neighbors knew your mom had to work. See, we talking about 70s, 60s, 70s. This is what I remember. Some of the 80s. Back then, we had to work hard. Your parents wasn't there, so everybody in the community raised everybody. They say a village raised a child, and that's how we used to live. See, now we trying to get away from each other, and then you see what they doing. They picking us apart
Yeah.
because they saying, you come on over here with us. You know, Martin Luther King had a dream, but we not dreaming. This
Right.
is reality. Y'all thinking y'all going to integrate with us, but we going to let you know you're not. See, we going to make it seem like there's integration. But what are you trying to integrate to? Are you going to be the OG in your community? Or you going to leave your community and be a pond? I can't even say that because the pond grew up to be one of the hardest or best pieces on the board. Real chess players, OGs, will know that because they know how to play that game. Because that's what we're going to get down to, the pawns. And the pawns, like our young youth, the YGs,
Yeah.
that's what they grow up into. Queens, kings, bishops, and knights. That's what we supposed to be raising. We supposed to be growing up. Queen, kings, queens, bishops, and knights. I don't know what's going on today because there's a disconnect, and that's what it is. So protection. First start off with protecting your mama. Because when a man came in the house, talked to your mama crazy, if your daddy ain't there, you sprung into action. I didn't care if you was a man or a woman. We fighting today. When you used to be out there, I remember back in 70, that was like 77, 76. My brother got into it with my best friend at the time. And damn, his little brother was there. So mom said, if your brother fight, I had to fight my best friend that day. But we came back the next day, hugged, said, man, but we had to get out because family, one fight, we all fight. So protection. A lot of times that's why you join a gang, or I say you're a part of the community because it's in you. You're born to protect your brothers, your sisters, your daddy, your mama, your cousins, your aunties, because we're family. A lot of y'all don't believe it because y'all want to be integrated in something else, but I see a lot of y'all starting to come home because they letting you owe. Like Jay-Z said, rich, poor, still, you know.
Yep.
Number 10.
Number 10, identity and belonging. This may be most important attribute. People want to belong somewhere. A gang can provide a name, symbol, history, relationships, recognitions, and a feeling of importance. For a young person searching for identity, hearing you're one of us can be extremely powerful. How are these Trevor developed?
Now, every child want to belong somewhere. See, this is where I say the disconnect came. Because remember back in the 70s, 60s, and part of the 80s, 80s was a different angle. A lot of people wanted to be gang members or community activists after colors. See, so a lot of the real OGs was before colors. They wanted it because we'll get into that in the foreign forces. But belonging is your identity. It's something that we did not feel in the church anymore. That's why there's more gang bangers, affiliates, and those who was born in the community and love their community come back to the ones who are gangbangers is because when life is not going right, I belong here. And usually the gangbangers are still in the neighborhood and they not going to leave the neighborhood. And I can't say it's bad. There's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad. So I'm not going to say what a person should or shouldn't do. Just do what's right for you. But belonging, we all want to belong somewhere. When they came through Ellis Island and came to America and took over all this land and became white, because before they was Irish, there was a lot of things, English, British. Now they just white. Now they white American. They wanted to belong in something. That's why this year they said the birth of their belonging is 1776. See, that's their OG. They OG, like Umar Johnson said the other day. They love their ancestors. They want to be like their ancestors. So we should be like our ancestors. We should want to love our ancestors, and we should love our ancestors. See, Them are the original gangsters of America. They built it, they lived it, and they gave it to us. Just like Jay O'Fallon said, if I give it to you, what you gonna do to it? So I tell you, all you original gangsters, young gangsters, blacks, affiliates, wherever you place yourself, they gave it to us. So what are we gonna do with it?
Right.
Next.
Well, we have nobody is born an OG. These behaviors and identities are learned through families, neighborhoods, peer groups, intuition, and personal experience. Consider five force. First is environment.
You said the first one is economy?
Environment.
Oh, environment. Thank you,
Yes.
thank you. Now, we're going to leave this with this, and this is the only thing that will sum that environment up. What did Kendrick Lamar say in that song? I want to know where your mama stay, your daddy stay, your grandma stay, your
Yeah.
grandmama stay.
Yeah.
Because that's what fuels your environment. Where you're born, where you're raised. See, I was born in Los Angeles, but I was raised in Pomona. So
Yeah.
I got it always, sometimes it ain't where you from, it's where you at. And I'll never turn down P-Town because it's
Right.
a beautiful place to me because I was groomed there, I was raised there, and that's my identity. Whenever I want to go back and belong to something, I'm headed on that 10 freeway, baby. 10 freeway. It don't matter directions, east or west. I know how to get there,
Yeah.
doing my best. Next.
Next is second is modeling, and young people watch older people, which is true.
Yes.
If you respect adults or older league or elder league, teenagers around them settle problems through intimidation or violence. Those behaviors can become lessons about adulthood.
Now, see, it's learned behavior. Everything's learned behavior.
Yeah.
So if you're an OG and you teaching dudes violence, see, sometimes violence is good. You have to defend yourself, and that's part of protection. But when you take it and you just sending youngsters on what we call missions to gain what? To do what? See, sometimes you do got to perfect. You got to defend your community because when you have an intruder, what do? You defend yourself. We got a lot of places in Florida and all these places. They can hold their guns on them. It's a reason why they have open gun states. It's because they saying protect yourself. But they also saying you better be responsible. Because if you use it in the wrong manner, ooh, brother, some of these states, they still got picking cotton, they still got the chain gang, and they got something for you. And they're going to make money off of you. Legal criminals. Legal criminals. Not all of them is criminals, but why is our economy like it is today? Why is all this still going on in the cultures and everything else if all these good people are being good? I
Right.
always tell my kids, and I'm going to tell you today, good people can do evil, and evil people can do good. Rest on that, understand it, and I guarantee you it will become a blessing in your life. Next.
Next is third is a comedy opportunity where legal employment and I don't know why it's late people. I'm sorry. Economy mobility appear in underground economics can become more attractive.
Yes. what happened with that is in economics,
Yeah.
it's like this. Young kids, a lot of time, if they're in poverty, who do
Yeah.
they look up to? They look up to the guy with the fancy rims who's coming
Yep.
down the street beating.
Yep.
And
Two
that
twelves in
lifestyle
the
may
back.
be good for him.
Yeah.
See, it's very profitable, but it's not meant for everyone. That's why most of hustlers,
Uh-huh.
only maybe 10 to 15% really prosper in it. The other 80 or 85 don't. They fill up the prisons. Well, you have some fill up the prison, you have some just get out the game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's their choice. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that because, as you see, our country was founded on what? Blood and corruption. So we, like Jesus said, you can't. Who have not sinned, do not throw out the first stone. So how can you tell these hustlers out there they wrong when the whole country is wrong? But what you could do is be there for them, give them resources and a way to get out. Look, you can make more money. You don't have to go to jail. Come work for me. See, we can change all that. Come work for me. But how many of these celebrities, these rappers, and everybody is opening up jobs for the people? See, they keep telling you, oh man, you gangbang, you doing all this like you're losers or something. But no, they're the losers because they have the economics, the
They do.
know-how, the brain, the strategy, the economical hustler, but they refuse to hire you because they're integrated into you know who they are. But like OJ said, he ain't black, he OJ. But look how he died. A real one. Yeah, he died a real one. And they made sure about that. I wonder what he's saying now.
Right.
I wonder what he's saying now. We got one more. What we got there?
Yes, we do. I'm sorry. Fourth is protection. Sometimes joining a group isn't intentional about wanting to hurt somebody. It can begin with who's going to protect me. But once protection require the individual become trapped in the same cycle, the original fighting them.
Protection. Here we go, protection again.
Right.
I think we got one more belonging.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Protection. Now, this is not 10 attributes. These are four forces that
Yes.
build those 10 attributes. We're back to protection. Protection is a must.
Yeah.
But if you apply it the wrong way, it becomes dangerous for the people and the person that is trying to protect because protection switches. Now you become a predator. You become a cannibalistic person, metaphor, eating your own people because you're taking it to exterminate sometimes good people or sometimes because these guys over here don't have the same philosophy. Because we have implanted in ourselves we are our enemies when, excuse me, we're not our enemies. It's okay to be from somewhere else. You can be from one project, I can be from another. I can be from one neighborhood. I can be from the suburbs, you can be from the inner city.
Right.
Whatever you may be, I can be from the desert and you can be from the beach. But when we see each other, this is our problem. Protect each other
Right.
mentally, physically,
Physically.
and spiritually. See, that's where we lost at. And then we can get back bringing our kids back in churches because the kids feel when they go to church, they don't belong there is because the preacher is at a disconnect. He's showing them all these pictures of these people when we have evidence now, and we know that the New Testament, they spoke Aramaic. But we still want to teach they spoke Greek. Wow, that's sad. And you wonder why these kids grow up because they got the internet now.
Yep.
Soon as you tell them, they're gonna think, 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 think. Hey, mother, you wrong. But then that's when the tradition come in. What is it? Seen but not heard. Now you're mad because you think your child is challenging your intelligence is because the lies my teacher told me. That's a book. And I just love that phrase. The lies my teacher told me is because a lot of us will die before we say our teachers lie. And a lot of our teachers has lied to us. And they under the big homegirl and the big homie. Original gangsters stand up, get the community back because it started with you. And that's why they call you original, because that's where it started from. So I'll say this because we got to get to belonging. If your intentions in your neighborhood is not to benefit the neighborhood, then why are you there? Why are you letting these youngsters just put people on? That's the most ridiculous thing to me. I'm using the white word now. Ridiculous, absurd is young people putting young people on. You have not seen half the things you're going to see in your life. You even not who you are going to be if you in your 20s when you get to your 40s and you putting somebody else on that you really don't know about. It's just a fight, man. It's just a fight, man. It's just a fight. We fought all the time.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. We was putting nothing on because we know. See, when you was a real gangster, you know who's a gangster and who's not. Last one. Hit him with that, Skittles. That
Yes.
belonging.
Every human needs community. If an institution don't provide enough belonging, another organization might fill that vacuum. That is why simply telling a teenagers don't join a gang isn't enough. You have to answer another question. What are you giving that teenager to belong to instead?
See, that's what I'm talking about. What are you giving them? Y'all giving them rappers. Y'all too busy worrying about what Young Thugs and all these other dudes. What is Jay-Z doing? Man, Jay-Z doing what billionaires do. He ain't
Yeah.
thinking about you. Everybody, they all on social media. What that going on, man? Blueface, Redface, Blueface. All these people doing, but what they not doing is giving you a job. See, that's the problem. They ain't, you know how many charities I see all the time? I think in my community, I done gave more money than all these dudes that be in these charities. What have a charity done for you and yours lately? People's giving, but it ain't reaching your table. So are they really giving? Because if it's abundance of money, and if the cup is running over, that means somebody has a lot and it's spilling over to your cup. But why do we have so much homelessness? Why do we have so much separation? Why do your kid got to go to school and fight for his existence? Not only with white people, but people that don't respect the black American. Wow. And it could be people that look like me and you, but they
Yeah.
don't respect us because why should they? If you can't respect yourself, you can't get mad at someone that don't respect you. You want security? Protect your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your auntie, your homie. Protect them. Like Malcolm X said, by any means necessary. That don't mean I'm saying go out and harm anything.
Right.
What I'm saying is protection could be go to college. Bring that money back to your community, build for the next community, because it's other people that are in communities, or we can say gangs. Guess what they do? When it comes to economics, they don't feud with each other. They go, I use an example, 15 taco stands on the same block. Now, come on. How many ways you can make a taco? But they all
Oh,
make money.
exactly.
Think about that. They all make money. Go to 7-Eleven. They all don't get along. They got, gangs. They got gangbangers, affiliates, and people was born the same thing. But one thing they do have, that's why when they talk about them in media and everything, what they call them, cartel, mafia, organized crime, because they get organized on you. They believe in groupism, not individualism. Self-reliance is only good in a group. Because if you have everybody standing strong, then who's going to be weak? Nobody. Thank you again for tuning in to the James Bocaine Public Announcer. This has been part 2 of the 10 attributes of original gangster. You can find me on James Bocaine Experience. That's my YouTube. If you want to listen to me on the radio, it's 106.5, 1050 AM in the IE area. If not, every KCAA every Saturday between the hours of 4 and 5. That is my hour of insights that we get to the people, for the people, to move the people. Good night. And we out. Close the door.